An amendment on the ballot in November would save Florida homeowners money over time. It's Amendment 5, and it would require a yearly adjustment for inflation to the value of current or future homestead exemptions. WEAR's Karis Harmon spoke with Greg Brown, Santa Rosa County's property appraiser. And Karis, he says the amendment would help homeowners who are feeling the strain of inflation.
Yeah, he does. He also says it wouldn't impact the taxes that pay for schools, but it would slightly affect county funds.
If it passes, the Santa Rosa County property appraiser says Amendment 5 would increase homestead exemption.
It will increase that exemption tied with the consumer price index or inflation, and that $25,000 exemption.
He says if Amendment 5's $25,000 exemption was put into place this year with the inflation rate sitting at 3.5%, it would increase the exemption from $25,000 to about $25,850.
What that means for the taxpayer is about a $6 in tax savings, because it does hold the school board harmless. So it's only about half of your millage rate would be impacted, and would save taxpayers about $6 in savings.
But he says that $6 amount would grow over time. The amendment would require an adjustment for inflation every year.
Exemptions, the last time homestead exemption was increased was in 2008. Prior to that, homestead exemption was in place in 1980. So it takes a long time for the legislature to act on these items, and so this would tie it to an index which would change every single year, and we will be dependent upon the Florida legislature to make the change. It will be tied to inflation.
Helping taxpayers bear the brunt of inflation. If it is passed by voters, the amendment would impact county and municipality coffers. He says in Santa Rosa County, there are about 48,000 taxpayers that receive homestead exemption, generating the county $105 million in ad valorem revenue.
This change in this current year would impact about $300,000 in lost revenue to the county, to Santa Rosa County. So that number is $300,000 this year. If the CPI was the same, that number would grow because it compounds to $600,000 next year and in future years depending on the CPI change.
He says as home values continue to grow, the exemptions need to mirror that.
Or go along with that so that the tax benefits that the constituents come to expect is what they will continue to see, so that their tax obligations don't continue to grow and they don't receive more taxes.
If approved by the voters, the amendment would take effect January 1st, 2025. In the studio, Karis Harmon, WEAR News.